There are a lot of people saying that this is interim chief Carmen Best's job to lose, that since she was put back in the running, there are reports that she's the favorite, that this is predetermined, that that's how it's going to end. Do you feel that way? Do you think this is just a dog and pony show to bring you guys here?
I do not. I'm a competitor. And this wouldn't be the first time that I went on to someone else's home field and came off victorious. So if you walk into that type of atmosphere with the thought that because this is their home territory, that it's, your words, theirs to lose, then why even bother getting on the field in the first place? I don't feel that way. Seattle's an excellent fit for me, and the reason that I applied in the first place was to become the chief of the Seattle Police Department.
Here's Mark. I'm sure you've been following the news, though. When Carmen Best did not make the list of the top 3, there was extreme backlash from members of the community and also from the department's rank and file officers. In this city, those two groups agree on very little historically, and they agreed on Carmen Best. So if you were to get this job, how do you come in and deal with what is going to be anger or frustration from both officers and outspoken members of the community that Carmen Best did not get the job and you got it instead?
See, that's somewhat predictive. And I don't believe that to be the case. Every conversation that I've had over the last 3.5 days, and this is my 3rd time out here, meeting with very diverse and engaging groups, specifically the African-American community that we had last night. And I will honestly say that was probably one of the most invigorating and challenging public meetings I've had in 25 years. And I still can feel the juice and energy off of that. I've met with the union individuals, officers individually, as well as city department heads and politicians. I've had nothing but positive, uplifting conversations with each and every one of them, which gives me confidence that in the event that I am selected as the Seattle Police Chief, we're all going to go together as a team to go forth and do good things.
This city has a deep history when it comes to the relationship between police officers and communities of color. You know that we're just getting out of a reform process. Certainly a lot of different communities have had conflicts between police and communities of colors, but ours is unique. Ours goes a long way back. So how do you step into that and convince those communities that you truly understand what they have been through in Seattle specifically? And
see, when you ask that question, you paint Seattle in the framework of being an island. And I even expressed to some community members last night that it's not. This national argument of disparate policing, the national argument of biased policing or impartial policing, those types of things, those are universal throughout. And you talk to anyone from Florida, Minneapolis, Texas, New York, New Jersey, you will find the same arguments being made over and over again. And one of the things that I wanted to get out of Seattle was because of their dynamic, cutting-edge ways of thought backed by the communities and politics, that you can make a change in the national argument that will invariably also be able to help the community here.
I want to ask you quickly about something that's incredibly important that's happening right now.
Please.
There is an issue with officer morale. There are officers who are leaving this department, young officers who have not been on the force long. You know how much it takes and how much it costs to bring an officer up through the academy and to get them in a uniform. What would you say if you're the chief of police here to officers who are considering leaving? Because at the end of the day, this comes down to public safety. If we don't have enough officers to patrol our streets, our community is left safe. So what could you do to convince those officers to stay with the Seattle Police Department?
Well, as a leader and taking charge of a very proud and dedicated Seattle Police Department, I would make it shown that I will lead from the front. I will have their back. I will be by their side. And as I tell my officers, even on the street today, at my rank, when I show up at a call, particularly the more dangerous ones, that's aired and there's a high potential for violence, and I show up, I tell them, I'm not there to judge you. I'm not there to overly supervise you. I'm there as your backup. And that has had a resounding effect on morale, both through the Minneapolis Police Department and as well as my military troops south of Baghdad. It's not a matter of where you're at or whether you're the hometown favorite or any of those type of things that they say. It's being a leader. And you could talk about reforms at the top, but if you don't have the ability to get that to permeate down to the boots on the ground of those officers that are responding to that 911 call at 2 in the morning, then you're just an academic. I'm the type of person that will be able to walk it like we talk it, show from example, listen to them, give them voice and buy-in so they understand that we're all in this together. And sooner or later, we'll be able to step off on that foot and go, hey, we're here. So if you're thinking about leaving, then I can't change your mind because I have not been able to have interaction with you prior to me being sworn in. But what I can promise you is that after I am sworn in, I'm going to be a servient, authentic leader to make sure that we all go home at night while taking care of not only the community public trust, carrying out the mayor's reform efforts as dictated by the consent decree, and to make sure that we are out protecting and serving. Servant, when I see things that say service, professional, that shouldn't be necessarily a goal. That should be something you do and strive to do every single day.
Should already be part of the job.
Exactly.
Right? Your last pitch, sir. You will be sitting down with Mayor Jenny Durkan shortly to make your final pitch to her as to why you should lead this police department. Make your final pitch to us.
Well, what I see is that the department does not reflect the community in which it serves. And that goes to the very foundation of policing and protecting and serving, which is trust. And you have to build that trust way prior to that significant emotional event that we know is going to occur. Not if, but when.